On 21st April 2020, Virgin Australia entered voluntary administration. They had had years of capital raisings on market and they were unable to raise further capital. Why were they unable, and what were the underlying reasons for the administration? How did it all happen? If you listen to what the media wants you to hear, it's because Virgin had too much debt and were trading insolvent after coronavirus hit. But anyone who likes watching a murder mystery can tell you, it's not always the most obvious suspect. In the case of Virgin, the most obvious reasons of debt and unprofitability overshadow the real reasons that went into administration. To find out why, you need to follow the money. First, let's look at what happens when other big companies go into administration. Let's look at Arrium, which was a large ASX listed company and an important Australian steelmaker. When Arrium went into administration, the administrators, charged $1 million a week to save Arrium. The then Prime Minister at the time, Malcolm Turnbull, met with the head of England's GFG Alliance and made a backroom deal. Later that month, Arrium was sold by the administrators to GFG Alliance at a price of $700 million. Earnings before interest and tax at that time were $400 million per year. The sale price was not formally publicised. In fact, KordaMentha applied to the regulator for a waiver so they wouldn't have to make public the sale price. Arrium was a classic example of the exchange of wealth which occurs from mum and dad investors to advisors and insolvency firms, with mums and dads left with nothing. Malcolm Turnbull previously worked with Goldman Sachs, a leading advisory firm that makes fortunes from advising roles when companies go into administration and when they are relisted on the ASX. If media are to be believed, the GFG Alliance plans to relist parts only of the Arrium businesses back on the Australian Stock Exchange for $1 billion. All this shows how lucrative it is for the new owners of the company and the administration partnerships which charge $1 million a week. There is of course more to the Arrium story. Arrium was forced into administration. It's all to do with algorithms, algorithm trading, and share price manipulation. That's some background of what takes place when companies go into administration. In part 2, we will look at the ownership of Virgin and see what has happened to the share price since foreign companies increased their ownership.